A cold desert wind swept across the lonely mountain pass as Elias Boone, a quiet mountain man known for living far from towns and troubles, guided his mule toward a small wooden station where the weekly mail arrived, never expecting that within the next few minutes his entire life would change. The moment he stepped onto the creaking porch, he noticed a young mail order bride sitting alone on a worn trunk, her dress dusty, her eyes tired but still holding a faint spark of hope that looked dangerously close to fading. And though Elias was a man who rarely spoke more than a few words, something deep inside him stirred as he realized she had clearly traveled far and had been rejected by the man who ordered her, leaving her stranded in a harsh world that had already tested her spirit too much. Without asking unnecessary questions, he gently said, "You're coming with me," and though she hesitated at first, unsure whether to trust another stranger, the calm kindness in his voice felt safer than the cold uncertainty of the empty road. So she quietly nodded and followed him toward the mountains, beginning a journey neither of them had planned, but both desperately needed. During the early days, she barely spoke, spending long hours staring at the horizon while Elias respected her silence, offering warm meals, a small cabin room, and the steady presence of someone who asked for nothing in return. And slowly she revealed her name was Clara, and that she had crossed half the country chasing the promise of a new life only to be abandoned the moment she arrived because she was not what the man expected, leaving her feeling worthless and invisible. Yet Elias never treated her as a burden, instead showing her the quiet rhythms of mountain life, collecting water from hidden springs, baking bread over open fire, watching golden sunsets roll across endless hills, small peaceful moments that began stitching her broken confidence back together. As weeks passed, Clara found comfort in tending a small garden beside the cabin, and Elias found unexpected joy in hearing laughter echo where silence once lived. And though both carried scars from lonely pasts, they slowly discovered that healing did not come from grand heroic gestures, but from simple, daily kindnesses like sharing stories under starry skies, teaching each other skills, and celebrating tiny victories such as Clara's first successful loaf of bread or Elias allowing someone else to rearrange his carefully ordered shelves. One afternoon, a traveling merchant passed through and tried to convince Clara she should return to town and find a better future, but she realized that for the first time she felt safe and valued where she was, a powerful turning point that made her see she was no longer defined by rejection, but by the strength she had built alongside Elias. During the long winter nights, they shared memories of their childhoods. Elias, admitting he had retreated into solitude after losing his family years before and believing he was destined to live alone forever, while Clara confessed she had once believed she needed someone else to validate her worth. And through these honest conversations, they both learned that belonging is not found through contracts or expectations, but through genuine respect and understanding. When spring arrived, the mountain valley transformed into a vibrant landscape of wildflowers and clear rivers, symbolizing the quiet transformation inside both of them. And Clara began helping nearby settlers by teaching children to read and writing letters for neighbors who struggled with words, earning gratitude and friendships that further strengthened her sense of purpose, while Elias found himself becoming more connected to the world around him, no longer hiding from community but slowly opening his heart. One evening, a sudden storm trapped them inside the cabin, forcing them to confront fears they had long avoided. Clara feared being abandoned again, while Elias feared losing the peaceful life he had finally begun to cherish, and through gentle conversation, they reassured each other that trust was built day by day, and that true strength came from facing vulnerability together. As months turned into a year, they became partners in every sense of the word, not through romance driven by passion, but through deep companionship rooted in mutual healing, and their home became a refuge for travelers who needed rest, proving that kindness could ripple outward and transform many lives beyond their own. A young boy lost on the mountain trails was once guided safely home by Clara, and the gratitude from his family reminded her how far she had come from the frightened woman on the station porch, while Elias watched with quiet pride, knowing that the strongest part of her had always been her resilience. Eventually, Clara received a letter from the man who had rejected her, apologizing and offering money to ease his conscience. But instead of reopening old wounds, she calmly burned the letter in the fireplace, symbolizing her decision to move forward without bitterness, a moment that filled Elias with admiration for her courage and growth. Their partnership deepened through shared projects such as building a larger garden, repairing broken fences for neighbors, and organizing small community gatherings, where music and laughter replaced the isolation that once defined the mountains. And Clara's storytelling became known for inspiring others to believe in second chances, while Elias discovered that leadership did not require loud words but quiet reliability. As time passed, they faced challenges like harsh winters and limited supplies. Yet every obstacle strengthened their bond because they approached problems as a team, learning that resilience grows strongest when shared. And they developed traditions, such as watching the first snowfall together and writing reflections about what they were grateful for each season. One powerful moment arrived when a group of new settlers asked Clara how she had found the courage to start over after disappointment, and she explained that sometimes the greatest turning point comes when someone offers you kindness without expecting anything in return, a statement that moved Elias deeply because he had never considered his simple act of inviting her along as anything extraordinary. During another spring festival in a nearby town, Clara was recognized for her literacy work and given a handmade journal filled with messages of appreciation from families she had helped, and she realized that her painful past had shaped her into someone capable of bringing light to others' lives. While Elias stood quietly beside her, feeling a sense of pride that replaced years of loneliness, their cabin gradually evolved into a place known for warmth and safety, where travelers could rest, share stories, and remember that even in the rugged Wild West, compassion could thrive stronger than hardship. And together they planted a line of trees along the path leading to their home, as a symbol of growth and endurance, each tree representing a lesson learned through patience and perseverance. As the years went by, Clara taught Elias to write letters expressing thoughts he once kept hidden, while Elias taught Clara survival skills that empowered her independence, and their mutual respect formed the foundation of a deep bond that neither had anticipated when they first met at the lonely station. One evening, while watching the sunset paint the mountains in golden hues, Clara reflected on how her journey began with heartbreak but led to purpose and belonging. And Elias admitted that inviting her to come with him had been the most important decision he had ever made because it allowed both of them to rediscover hope. Eventually their story spread beyond the mountains as travelers carried tales of a mountain man and a resilient woman who turned hardship into kindness, inspiring others to treat strangers with compassion and to believe that even the smallest gesture can alter the course of a life. As they grew older, their partnership remained rooted in shared values, honesty, patience, empathy, and they continued welcoming lost souls who needed encouragement, turning their once quiet cabin into a beacon of understanding rather than isolation. When younger settlers asked for advice about life's challenges, Clara always said that strength is not the absence of struggle but the courage to keep moving forward with kindness, while Elias reminded them that sometimes saving someone does not require heroic feats, but simply offering a safe place and a listening ear. In the end, the mountain valley that once symbolized solitude became a thriving community connected by compassion, and Clara and Elias realized that their meeting had been less about rescuing one another and more about walking side by side toward healing, proving that the Wild West was not only a land of rugged survival but also a place where gentle hearts could reshape destiny through trust and resilience. And as the sun set over the quiet hills, they sat together on the cabin porch, reflecting on a life built not from grand promises, but from daily acts of care. knowing that the greatest journeys begin with a single moment of kindness spoken in a calm voice. You're coming with me. And that sometimes the most powerful stories are not about conquering others, but about helping each other stand again, find purpose, and create a home where hope grows stronger with every passing day.